I hunt for deals much like a fox hunts for injured baby rabbits. I wait, and I'm waiting. I see something, and then I pounce. I saw 4 disappointing things on the internet that you need attention brought to you of. That's English. And a couple questions that have nothing to do with anything.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Canon R5 II with a 24mm 1.4 glimmer glass engaged. We're in HD right now, and I'm just gonna switch to 4K at some point, see if you even notice a difference. I bet you don't. This might be the best 1080p we ever seen in life. It's 2K, like oversampled from 8K, I think, and high megabits. All right, first thing I saw, need gone ASAP, damaged MacBook Pro, $300. If you need it gone, throw it in the trash where it belongs, asshole. What are you even doing? How is it $300? It's damaged, it's broken, no one wants it, Apple won't fix it, nor will they help you find someone who will. That's what you do when you buy an Apple Mac product. You're like, oh no, I can't fix it. Where's the screwdriver? How come it's proprietary? You build a PC yourself. I just don't get these for parts people who sell things and like so high of a price, like absolutely broken, does not work, $200 off, brand new. Like, what are you even doing? Like, I'm trying to buy that RF 28mm 2.8. I see a deal, it's $350 plus tax new, and he's selling it for $320. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, that's barely anything. So I offered him $280, he's like, no. I'm like, okay, $300, he's like, no. Like, $20 off, you won't do that. I can't even bring myself to deal with you now. Here's an interesting setup that he will not part with individual pieces. You have to buy every single thing in this thing, this package. An XH2 cinema rig. Nobody is buying the XH2 for cinema rigs. It's the XH2S is your video one. Then the XH2 is for photos, 40 megapixels if it was a foot. And all this newer stuff and small rig plates. And look at the monstrosity of that whole thing. Who would want that doom in their life? That pressure, that pain of just like, wow, you look at that thing every time, God, that is heavy. I would never take that anywhere. And it's a Fuji, and it's a high megapixel Fuji at that. The funny thing is the whole rig does not even come with an external monitor. I just realized that. Use your phone as a wireless camera monitor. How though? Like, what, anybody could do that. That's not a thing. I'll give you the phone stand. $4,000. It's a terrible deal. That ad will exist till the end of time. Last month, I noticed that my Tascam DR10L lav mic was splitting at the top. I'm like, that can't be good. It still works. I just taped it up with electrical tape, but you never know when that thing's gonna cut out. And I've been wanting to upgrade anyway. I hate the design of it. You gotta stick your nail in to turn it on. It's awkward. Reliable, but not so much on the lav side. So I was looking up the road, and we're on it now. And the odd time it will glitch out, but I never lose the file. It disappears, and then you take the SD card out, put it back in here, turn it on, turn it off, take it out, and then it is there. So like, you'll never lose a file, you just might be annoyed. And what I love about it is the clip, as you can see side by side with that guy who has to hook around, because you can't just have a rotating clip for some reason. This one rotates to any direction, and so it can just be tucked somewhat neatly. It could be much better. Point is, I was looking up reviews, and this jabron gives it a 1 star. I couldn't wait 6 months for an audio solution. After the order got pushed from March to July, I canceled it, never got to use it. He literally uploaded a photo of him without the recorder as proof that it deserves a 1 star. In what world? In what world are you on? How so many people like just will 1 star. If I have a product and it's like not that great, it's pretty good, you'll get like a 3 star maybe, or a 4 star if it's like quite good, but there could be nitpicks. Who gives a 1 star for not even having it? Like, you're ruining a company's life here for no reason. 14 people agreed. 1 found it helpful for some reason, probably you. I was looking up the seller that ripped my ass off on AliExpress to see if he got other terrible reviews and stuff. So like we're all boycotting those two companies, right? MH General Electronics and Canon online store. Yeah, the official Canon, I'm sure of it. Thankfully someone reviewed my lens and they were not appreciative. There's no fixation of the focus through the video, only through the diploma. Okay, I'm trying to understand your mindset right now. Only if you go to college and then once you learn how to set, you read the manual, you graduate manual college, you can set the settings right and it'll work. Or it's broken parts from China because you guys suck. Did you notice that we switched into glorious 4K, oversampled, highest bitrate you can get, I think, don't quote me on it, 480 megabits per second, oversampled, fine. It's gonna overheat any second. If there's one downside so far of this camera is it seems to not be the best battery life. I seem to be replacing them quite often, which is weird because the R6 II has a worse version of this battery, but it was like so legendary, it lasted forever. And somehow you have a better version of that battery, but it's much less because it's such a good camera and it's so powerful. That's probably why. All right, 2 questions here. Do you ever use a gimbal for street stuff or only highest stave? I hate gimbals so much because the complexity of it. Just picture this. I have my little Ulanzi mounts. I can take this off a tripod, put it on my backpack clip, put it on another tripod, a full tripod. I got like all those stands set up. For gimbals, that doesn't work. So all of a sudden I have to take that thing off, then you have your plates and you're balancing things. My God, I remember Gerald Undone and his girlfriend were here and they were trying to balance a gimbal. It took them like half an hour easily. And I was like, wow, imagine me doing it. And I've tried it and it's annoying and I'm sure that's getting better. It's much easier now. But like the bulk of it, it's just so much. And then for what? For a bit better stable. Like I want the cameras to do that inside. Just do it really good inside. Whereas we don't need all this bulk. It's fun to have a little 600-gram setup, boom, little tripod. The gimbal though, and then you're pointing, like I hate the Pocket 3 because it's a gimbal. But at least it's mini enough, like, okay, I miss a lot of things, like, oh shit, it's in the wrong mode. They're also really heavy. They add so much weight to your gear when I'm like trying to find the lightest weight setup possible. And then all of a sudden your gimbal actually is the heavy thing in that whole equation. And then you can't extend it out as far, so you're not getting the wide angle, the compression. You couldn't do the 28mm vlog like I'm about to if it ever shows up from China. Sometimes I'll see comments from people that say, just get a gimbal. What do you do? What do you mean? Like I'll complain about stable, get a gimbal. As if it's so simple, like that destroys my life. So complex, heavy, awkward, not fun, too stable, not good, expensive. Metal. Leave me alone now. Gimbals suck. Just to round things out, to have 10 things. I don't want a gimbal. Slight switch of scenery. Canon C70 50mm 1.2. Last question here. I've owned many cameras and still do. After I decide to get rid of a camera, but before I actually list it for sale, I take that camera out for one last photo shoot, kind of a goodbye. Once I took my D7100 DSLR out for the last photo shoot, but enjoyed it so much, decided to keep the camera. Do you have any rituals you do before selling a camera? I set fire to my curtains. So I recently did that. I was about to sell the Nikon Z6 III and I'm like, oh my God, I want to do the comparison between the 600mm primes, Canon versus Nikon. Okay, he's coming at 1 p.m. I gotta go. So I took it out on a long nature walk, got some glorious footage. So now I have all this Nikon footage and I'm just waiting for my 600mm Canon lens to show up and then we can do a little comparison. But in general, I don't usually have a ritual. Sometimes, depending on the thing, I'm just like debating it and then someone say, okay, I'm coming Friday. And it's like, okay, let's film on it here. Usually I do want to squeeze some last juice out of it. And I've never like been convinced by that last shooting to like, you know what? Oh man, I need that. Although I am debating many things, and I always am. I almost want a Fuji to complement my Canon. Get rid of the Sony and we just have Canon and Fuji in the color science battles that would ensue. Couldn't even believe that fun that awaits, but I never see deals for the Fuji XS20 ever. I can't believe I never see them. Or like the 500mm prime, that's a bit new to expect deals on, but I can't bring myself to just, oh, I'll buy it new. It's actually a pretty huge part of my income selling gear. So like, not just from gifts like Steinbeck's and the Corzines and the Flat Earth Santas and all of you who have given me stuff. And it feels weird because you guys have given me so much and I have almost nothing of what you've given me, but I've bought new stuff. So like Steinbeck and Corzine, Flat Earth Santa, the Winkleplex, they've all pitched in for a Canon C70, an R5 II, all the EF lenses, telephoto coming, that Nikon whole setup. So like I'm constantly selling, and like the companies, Viltrox, love their lenses so much. I do love them because I can sell them. People want them. Like, oh, flat and sharp and clinical and cheaper than Sony G Master, wow. Like that light in the background, I'll probably sell that soon. I don't know, it's loud. Don't know what it's offering to us other than like ruining my lens flares, and had one in my mouth the last time I filmed. It was like right around, that was bullshit, bullshit shot. So I'm not sure we learned a whole heck of a lot today, but there are terrible ads out there and plenty of spaces to be ripped off. Someone tried to rip me off today for my Nikon lens. They're like, oh, will you ship it? I'm like, yeah, sure, you have to pay in advance. I'm like, okay, will you ship it to the States? As soon as they say that, I know you're scamming me, because it's much cheaper for you to buy it in the States, unless you can get a fake internet scam going. They send me the fake Interac email that's just enter your tracking number and you'll get the money. It's like, okay, I'll ship the lens first. Okay, here's my tracking number. You'll send the money now, right? Where's the money? Uh-oh. So I just said, and they never lowball you, the scammers. That's what I love. So that's what I replied to. I said, what I love about scammers is they never lowball you. And then he left the group immediately. That was fun times. Thank you for your Bitcoin donations. I'll leave now. Subscribe for more on channel.